All right, in this next section, we're going to look at cross-price elasticity of demand and income elasticity of demand. So first, we'll start off with cross-price elasticity of demand. So this one is very similar to the one we already looked at. The only difference is now we are not looking at the price change of the good itself, but the change in the price of some related good. In other words, it's the percent change in demand for one good divided by the percent change in price of some other good that's related. Okay, so it's basically almost the same formula. The only difference is now it's not the price of this good X, right? It's the price of some other good Y. So that's why we denote it E sub XY, right? The percent change in quantity demanded of good X given the percent change in price of some related good Y. Okay, so as it turns out, the sign of this elasticity can be negative or positive, and it tells us how the two goods are related. The sign tells us how the two goods are related. So for substitutes, cross-price elasticity of demand is positive. Okay, so think about Coke and Pepsi, right? The price of the price and quantity of the substitutes move in the same direction. So if the price of Pepsi goes up, the quantity demanded of Coke goes up, right? And so the elasticity would be positive. Whereas if it's negative, it's basically telling us that these things are complements, right? So peanut butter and jelly, if the price of peanut butter went up, the quantity demanded of jelly would go down, right? The cross-price elasticity of demand would be negative for complements. Okay, so here we can't ignore the sign. The sign is giving us some information. It's telling us how the two goods are related. All right, so what if a stronger enforcement of a ban on an illegal drug pushed up its market clearing price, but its cross-price elasticity with another drug is highly positive? Well, the ban would basically reduce supply in the underground market, and that's what would cause the price increase. And the positive cross-price elasticity is telling us that these two drugs are substitutes. So even though the higher price might discourage people from consuming this drug, they would just substitute to another illicit drug, right? So here's another example of how these elasticities can be highly useful.